Definitely.
Okay. So, hello everyone, my name is Gloria and welcome to Dihua Street. Today I am going to introduce you a very unique building on the street, and that building is the 10 consecutive building where we are in now. So by introducing this building, I will also tell you the history, industry, and the renovation of this building to you. I'm going to start with a little question. What do you think is the original use of this building? I will give you two options. The first option is that this is used as a community where people live in. And the second option is that it's used as factories. So if you think it's option 1, please raise your hand. Okay, nice choice. And if you think it's the second option, please raise your hand.
Okay, sis. Yes, 2.
Okay, so thank you, but the answer is actually like both.
Oh.
I will mention this answer later. As you can see in the back, there is the introduction. This place is originally built by 6 families, and 5 of them opened like rice milling factories in this building. The other one opened a sewing thread factory. They make threads. And they all make a lot of money. And I'll ask another question. Why do you think there are rice milling industry in Dadaochen? I'll give you 2 options as well. The first option is that there are rice fields in Dadaochen. The second option is that Dadaochen is very close to harbors in the past, so they get things from the harbor. If you think it's the first option, please raise your hand. Okay, no one? Okay, if you think it's the second option, please raise your hand. Okay, most of the people think it's option 2, and you're right. Dadaochen in the past is very close to harbors, and it's close to Tanshui River, so it's more convenient and more easily we can transport like harvested rice from other places to Dadaochen. So that attracted a lot of people to start rice milling industry in Dadaochen. But when World War II started, the Japanese government started to control the rice supplies. So rice gets harder and harder to find, and that caused the rice milling industry in Dadaochen slowly to go downhill since then. In 1939, there are only 2 rice milling factories remain in this building. And as you can see now, they are all gone. So moving on to the architecture part. This building is built in the Western style, which means it's mainly built with red bricks and gray-white clay. And the design of the rooms is also special too, but we couldn't see now, so I have a picture.
Closer to see it?
Maybe.
Please come closer to see it. So it's like a broken.
So in the past, because Dihua Street is a like super popular street, everybody wants to open a shop on the street, but the space wasn't enough. So they decided to build the houses more narrow, like the doors are smaller, so they could fit more shops on the street. But that makes the space too small to use. So they decided to build the house deeper into the walls, so they could have space to live and put the factories. These houses are mainly like, they have 3 parts: the front, the middle, and the back. In the front part, this is the arcade, and this is where the shop is. In the middle, there's the main hall, which is like the living room. There's the toilet and the kitchen. In the back part, it's mainly storage place and factories. So back to the first question I asked in this tour. So I think this count as a factory. And in the second floor, there is where the workers and the owners' families live. So people live in these buildings as well. So I think it counts as a community as well. And moving on to the last part. Like we can see, this is the This building has two architectural style. That part, the gray building count is the 10 consecutive building as well. It's renovated, and this part is not. In the original, it's actually like red bricks, gray white clay. But the other part didn't seem like that, do they? I suppose they're not red, they're quite different. But why is that? So we have to move on to the next part to answer that question. In the 1980s, the government decided that they want to widen up the street in widen up the road in Dihua Street. So to do that, they'll have to tear down some old houses. But the local people didn't like that, so they started a thing called I Love Dihua Street movement. They started to post on like newspapers to call out to more people to co-sign with them to try to preserve old buildings on the street. And there is also a rumor says that Japanese wants to buy every brick from these old buildings on Dihua Street and transport them to Japan and rebuild the whole street in Japan. So this rumor actually made Taiwanese a bit angry, like they don't like Japanese at that time. And so they maybe being like thinking like, oh no, I don't want to give my own stuff to Japanese, we're gonna have to keep these buildings. And so more people joined the co-sign, and as you can see, we can see these old buildings now, so they had a success. So today I have talked about the historical architecture and the industry and the 10 consecutive building. I think this site is quite interesting because we can see two architectural style in one building, I think. And that is quite special. So this is my part. This is the end of my part. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you for your attention. Does anyone has any questions? Okay, if not, then let me... Wait, what? Oops, sorry. Oops.
Okay, Gloria, was it originally 10 buildings or were there more buildings?
I think it's originally 10 buildings.
Okay.
They are connected.
Okay, do we still have all of them now or only a few?
I forgot a bit. Oops.
So the 10 buildings share the same walls. So here we are, and now that we have the first section, so where's the arcade and before